Welcome back. We got an update on the YNW Melly situation, man. We got a reaction from the lawyers. This is what they saying. They put the detective on the stand today. The hood lawyers solved this one. They figured it out, man. So I want y'all to listen to this right now. Like this, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about the YNW. Should he be free or is he gonna get the chair? Let me know what y'all think, man. Watch this. The YNW trial is almost at an end right now, so they're trying everything they can to get him. They just tried to put the detective on stand today and get him to basically admit that he threatened to get YNW Melly sent back to Haiti if he didn't cooperate with him and if he didn't say that he's the one that did it. And you can't do that. That's why they put him up on there on the seat, and they had the judge, the DA, and everybody grilling him question after question because he was actually trying to use a scare tactic to get YNW Melly to admit that he did something and incriminated himself, which you could plead the fifth in that situation. And he was threatening him, saying he was going to get him sent back to Haiti where he wasn't going to get no food, no nothing. He wasn't going to be access to no type of medication or nothing like that. And so what he did was he basically sent a message and tried to threaten YNW Melly. And when it comes to the rules and regulations of how the detectives are supposed to handle matters, they cannot be doing anything like that. This isn't the movies where they can play good guy, bad guy, and slap them around and tell them they're going to send them to Guantanamo Bay and all that kind of stuff. Like, you got to do your job specifically, exactly to the order, or else everything is going to get thrown out. Like, YNW Melly's facing the electric chair right now or the firing squad. So what you got to understand is that they're trying to make an example out of him. He's going to be the first rapper that has anything like that ever happen to him. And this is all being played out in front of the whole entire world. And so they dig in deeper and deeper to everything that's been going on through the whole case. They found the text messages. They're trying to pin everything on YNW Melly based off of the text messages that he sent, because in the text messages that he sent, they looked at it closely. They read the whole conversation. They know who was the sender and who was the receiver. And they said YNW Melly was the person who wrote out the words in the text and actually pressed the buttons on every single letter with his own thumbs. They was able to get access to the front-facing camera of the phone he was using and verified that it was indeed him using that phone that he made those texts, because everything that you do, they can go back and look at it and find out who was there and who was the person that sent the message, who was the person that went on this app and everything like that. You got to understand, they can go back and look at a lot of stuff, just like how they could get cameras, just like how they could get phone records and phone conversations. How do you think that they can get the phone conversations after the conversation is over, is being recorded the whole entire time? And this was what was going on with YNW Melly. They caught him sending the text messages saying that he did it. If you a person who's trying to claim innocent, especially after two people got sent up and everything, and you getting looked at as a suspect, you don't want no text messages getting out that says you did it. And this is a bad move on his whole part. The defense was trying as hard as they can to make sure that they could not use that as any type of exhibit in any of the evidences, because if they showed the jury the text messages saying he did it and everything about bragging online and using his phone and saying, telling all these people in his hood and all the ops that it was him and all that, that's going to make him look more guilty. So this is a lesson for everybody. Like, you're not supposed to brag about anything, and certain things like that could go back and be used against you. Like, what you got to understand is that in this situation, they're not trying to use the lyrics against him anymore. They're trying to use the text messages against him, the social media posts and all that kind of stuff about him actually making the post and it being him, and he's not meaning it for entertainment purposes like he was saying what he means. And there's a big difference. And so what a lot of people got to understand is that in this point of view, it looks like YNW Melly might have snitched on himself by sending the text messages that were incriminating. And one thing you got to understand about incriminating text messages and incriminating evidence is that it could be used in court, and they're going to somebody could testify against you and say that they have evidence that you already admitted to everything, and they could get you locked up. You lose the case, and then they put him in the frying pan and the electric chair and everything like that. So what y'all got to understand is that this is very, very critical. The next few days are going to be extremely critical, and this is going to be the biggest thing that happens out of this whole trial, is to figure out how they're going to get him out of this jam situation. Because if they're not successful in freeing YNW Melly, he's not going to be able to ever like do anything, because they're trying to get rid of him and eliminate him instantly. And so this is a crazy thing. Like, we don't need this to happen to nobody, and they're trying him based off of a lot of different things. And the fact that he had to go through this whole entire trial, and they let him wear the suit and everything so that he could look like a better person. Like, you know, if he came in the orange jumpsuit looking like with the county outfit on, then the jury people gonna think that he's already innocent. So because he's in there with the suit on, the jury think he guilty if he got the orange jail jumpsuit. But since he got a regular suit on that looked like he came from a wedding, then they think he a regular person, like he was a businessman working downtown or something. This is one of the strategies that YNW Melly's lawyers and defense team use to try to make the jury understand that he could be relatable to them like that. A lot of lawyers use a lot of different tactics, just like how they made George Zimmerman gain all that weight so that he looked like he was a teddy bear and that he couldn't do anything, and that made him look like he didn't do nothing. And this is the same thing on YNW Melly. They want to amp up everything and make it look like he was doing a lot of good charitable things and he was wearing suits and going to church every Sunday. But in all actual reality, if he was doing that and living that lifestyle for real, he would have never actually got into the jam of where he have to sit on the trial and everything. And he's been locked up for years now at this point. Like, he's done years and years. And so they've been waiting for this moment, and they really trying to get him like in front of the whole world. They trying to make everybody know that you can't be like YNW Melly and do anything close to this, or even be actually accused of doing this, because technically this is all alleged. Like, unless they have everything, the judgment come down and they hit the hammer with the wooden thing and they say guilty, until then everything is alleged. And so what y'all got to understand is that they might throw this case out and pick up a new case, because the detective threatened to deport YNW Melly, and that broke the rule, because the statute says that you can't be actually threatening any type of witness like that. And so this is the reason why they put the detective on the stand, and they brought the paperwork to him and showed exactly what he said on the body camera. And the body camera is something that they had to look at and actually transcribe the audio so they could put it on the piece of paper in quotations to show the defendant, to show the detective and the judge that this was his words out of his mouth, and that this isn't an accusation. This is something that he actually said, that he was trying to get YNW Melly kicked out if he didn't actually admit to it. And that's actually bending the rules and everything like that. You got to understand that entrapment plays a role in this, and you can't set somebody up and try to charge them, like asking the funny questions and using certain type of tactics, just like how you're not supposed to jump on somebody right away. Like, they could get into some type of situation where they're in the wrong, and that goes back and it gets thrown out in court. And so that's why they tiptoe in this case very, very closely, because they know that any slip up that they have on the defensive side could send YNW Melly straight to the chair, straight to the lethal injection, or whatever, all that, you know. And in any mistake on the other side, then he gets to walk free. And so this is going to be basically the biggest trial in America right now since at least 2-3 years. And so what we're going to look at is we're going to see what's going to happen with YNW Melly and what's going to happen with Young Thug, YSL, and everybody like that. And as all these trials start with all the rappers, you got to stay tuned in, because I'm going to be updating everybody on it. So I'm going to see y'all later.